What's up everybody, it's me V, and I am back again with another pre-recorded video because I said during our last tier list video that I might want to do a Submissive and Breedable Blondes tier list, and then that I might do it for Pride, and I am currently recording this on June 28th, so I better get on that if I want to do that, huh? So anyways, I just went and I pulled out all of the Fire Emblem blondes and like kind of semi-blondes that I could find. There's a couple people in here where I'm like, I wasn't 100% sure if they qualified, but I was gonna do them anyways. And then I was kind of debating on like honorary blondes, but then I was like, or I could just do this for the other hair colors at some point in the future. Maybe not right now because I'm gonna have to edit this, and editing is the bane of my existence, but whatever. And I tried to stick mostly to characters that I knew, but there's a couple on here that I'm like semi-familiar with, but not like super familiar with, and we're just gonna do our best. So, we have our tiers, Submissive and Breedable. Breedable but not submissive, submissive but not breedable, neither submissive nor breedable, but like in an affectionate way, and then neither submissive nor breedable in a derogatory way, and then oops, because I think there's one character in here where I was just like, I have no idea who you are. So, starting off, George, whatever his name is, from Shadow Dragon. I'm not really familiar with Shadow Dragon, but like, from what I know about him from Fire Emblem Heroes, he seems like he'd be pretty submissive and breedable. Oh god, what's this guy's name? I forget. They added him to Heroes, I think, recently, and he, like, somehow manages to destroy all of my auto battle runs, so I kind of hate him. He strikes me as breedable but not submissive. Arlen, hella submissive and breedable. The way this man talks about Merrick is just like, oh, he is so down bad. Clive is submissive but not breedable, probably. Okay, I think, controversial, I think Clive is kind of cute. A lot of people do not seem to agree with me. If you don't agree with me, feel free to not tell me about that. Or do. Fill up my comment section. We can have another comment palooza and it can push my video out to the algorithm. Zeke is hella submissive and breedable. Just look at that man. Look at that face. Jesse... He's definitely one, but I'm not sure if he's both, you know? I'm gonna go... breedable but not submissive. Fernand, also submissive and breedable. Just look at him. Just look at that face. Okay, now these two, fun fact, I have a really hard time with genealogy and Thracia portraits. So I think I grabbed Eldigan and whatever the heck his son's name is, Ares. But I'm not entirely sure if that's them. So if it's not, oops. Eldigan is, yeah, he's pretty submissive and breedable. I mean, he gets murked like a little bit, so he can just stand up for himself. Ares is honestly kind of hard. I didn't really get that into Gen 2 of genealogy yet. I mostly played through Gen 1. Okay, I know who he is, but I'm gonna give him a whomst, and I'm reserving judgment for later. Klein, hella submissive and breedable. Elfin, breedable but not submissive. He doesn't really give me sub vibes. And his boyfriend, Percival, is definitely submissive but not breedable. And he keeps pity breaking me in Heroes, so he's lucky he didn't end up in the derogatory category. Oh god, who do we... Oh, this is like Murdoch. This is like Zephiel's boyfriend or something. I'm gonna put... Yeah, I think he's gonna be my first neither submissive nor breedable derogatory. And then we have Zephiel, who I think is breedable but not submissive. I don't think I need to justify that one. Lucius, hella breedable and submissive. Hawkeye? Have I gotten to Hawkeye yet? I don't think I've gotten to Hawkeye yet in Fire Emblem 7. For context, I'm like in the middle of my first ever Fire Emblem 7 run, so he's going in Hoomst, but I'm just gonna say it right now, he strikes me as kind of neither affectionate or breedable but not submissive. Narcian seems like he would be pretty submissive and breedable. Borde seems like he would be breedable but not submissive. Cormac seems like he would be breedable but not submissive. What's your name? Glenn? You're Cormac's older brother or something, right? I played Fire Emblem 8, I know what's going on. Honestly... I think he's both. Gatry, whatever his name is... He's given me... neither derogatory. I like him, but... come on. Look at him. Bastion... same, honestly, for the same reasons. I'm not going to elaborate. We got the Herons. Raphael is hella submissive and breedable. Have you seen his wife? Just saying. You know what, Rayson? He doesn't strike me as, like, extremely submissive, but, like, then you keep in mind that, like, Daddy Dom to Barn is, like, his boyfriend, so, like, by default, he's kind of submissive and breedable. I'm gonna put him in submissive and breedable. What's your face, Janeth? I don't really have that many opinions on you, if I'm being perfectly honest with myself. You're mostly just here because you're blonde and I know your name, probably. Sure, he can be both. Oh god, what's this guy's name? It's like... he's like Zephiel's bitch. Yeah, submissive and breedable. He will do anything for Daddy Zephiel, and like, not to spoil like the black-haired submissive and breedable tier list, but Zephiel is also submissive and breedable. So, am I saying Zephiel? Zelgius. Not to spoil my black-haired characters submissive and breedable tier list, but Zelgius is also submissive and breedable. So this guy is like ultra submissive and breedable. He is like the submissive and breedable of the submissive and breedables. Vake is neither affectionate. Libra, breedable but not submissive. Jacob, neither derogatory. Takumi, kinda... Jacob and Takumi aren't, like, quite blonde, but I don't know where else I would put them. They're generally light-haired men. Takumi's hella submissive and breedable. Just look at him. Arthur is neither affectionate. Odin is probably both submissive and breedable. The Chunies usually are. Leo is kind of tough because I don't see him as like significantly submissive, but he does have the Chuny factor. So like, what do I do with you? You know? Like, I don't see him as being both submissive and breedable. But, like, he doesn't really strike me as either. I'm gonna put him in neither affectionate, with the caveat that, like, I could see him going into any of the other tiers. Xander is hella breedable, but not submissive. Is Benny blonde? Really? Wow. Okay, for context, I opened this tab, like, a month ago, and I just through all of the blonde Fire Emblem characters I could recognize into it, and it's just been sitting in my Google Chrome tab or whatever for like a month. So I don't even remember who's in here. Benny, neither affectionate. Siegbert, hella submissive and breedable. Forrest. Yeah, he can be submissive and breedable. Geralt is breedable but not submissive. Dimitri is hella submissive and breedable. Lambert, I know we only see a little bit of him, but I think it's genetic, so he can also be submissive and breedable. The word submissive is starting to not sound like a word to me anymore. Raphael is neither derogatory, no offense. So are you, Acheron. So are you, Lemon Boy. Rufus. Yeah, sorry, no, you're a neither. Alfred, hella submissive and breedable. Amber, do I have strong opinions on Amber? He's kind of submissive and breedable. I'll give him that. Bune strikes me as like not breedable but submissive. I have Rosado on here for some reason. I have absolutely no idea why I put him on here. He doesn't quite fit with any of the other hair colors. I mean, clearly he probably dyes it or something. I think I just put him on here so that I could like... I think I just put him on here so that I wouldn't forget him in the future. It made sense to me at the time, I assume. Anyways, he is definitely breedable but not submissive. Who the fuck is this guy? I have no idea who this guy is, so he's going in Hoomst. And then you two are, what, the Black Fang bros from Blazing Blade. I haven't seen too much of either of them. So most of my familiarity with them comes from Fire Emblem Heroes. I'm gonna go with breedable but not submissive, submissive but not breedable. Yeah. Okay, I think I'm happy with that placement. So if you were ever curious to know which Fire Emblem blonde boys I find submissive and breedable, here is your tier list. Please feel free to reference it in the future if you have any questions. And I think I am going to do... I had one more tier list in mind. I just slapped my leg and my microphone... My microphone's in a bit of a weird spot because I'm doing something on stream the day after I'm recording this, so I had to rearrange some things, so hopefully the audio quality is fine. But yeah, I said I was going to do one more tier list of like which Fire Emblem games I thought had like the most enjoyable shipping content for me. And I imagine that'll only take me a couple of minutes to record, so I'm gonna do that too while I'm sitting here. Okay, we're here with the shipping tier list. For reference, this is how much I enjoyed the shipping content of the games, not necessarily how good the shipping content is in an objective manner. I'm gonna lead off with that so I don't get people thinking that I'm talking about like, oh, this game is objectively better than this one when it comes to blah blah blah. No, okay, this is purely opinionated, how I felt after I played the game about the shipping content. So, starting off strong, Mars games, haven't played them, still working on it. Echoes, honestly, was like hella meh, you know? I don't, you know, I don't like love the shipping content in it. It was very like, for the most part, it was very heterosexual, which is just not something that particularly interests me when I'm going into fan content, because like I get enough heterosexual romances in like literally every piece of media I've ever consumed, okay? So like it's just boring, you know, no shade. There's not really a lot of like player agency over the ships. Like they have like the predetermined couples and like that's all you get, which I don't find that fun from a personal standpoint. Genealogy of the Holy War, you know what? Like I like need a new tier for this one, honestly, because this is like 100% something where like when it comes to the shipping content that currently exists, I don't really have that much to say about it, but like, oh my god, if it ever gets remade, I'm going to be so not normal about this. Yeah, I'm going to be so not normal about this because there's so much potential, mainly in like, okay, like I can totally see myself getting like super into Shannon and Oifi if this game ever gets remade. I mean, they're like childhood friends. They basically raise a son together. They're Selif's adoptive gay dads. Like, hello, please and thank you. And anything else, you know, we'll just have to see when it comes, but Oifi and Shannon are my main ones I got my eyes on. Thracia I still haven't played as of recording this. I have a feeling it's not really going to interest me that much. I have a feeling Shadow Dragon's not really going to interest me that much either, but we'll see. Finding pretty meh on the shipping content, honestly. I can't really think of anything. You know, I'm gonna put this in, I'm so gonna not be normal about this if it ever gets remade, because, like, I liked what they had going on with, like, Percival and Elfin, and I liked Diak and Klein's kind of, like, backstory together. I would be interested to see how that plays out if they were to ever remake it. It's just kind of hard for me to get into the shipping content for Binding because it's like old game, Japan exclusive. Like there's not a ton of fan work about it, so there's not really like a ton for me to consume and get into and kind of like play around with. And I've only played the game once. Blazing, I can already tell you it's gonna be a like. Just, you know, Lucius and Raven alone are feeding my soul, okay? Sacred Stones was pretty, like, meh. I can't really think of anything in Sacred Stones that I was more than, like, lukewarm on. You know, for the most part, it was like, oh, that's cute. And then I just, like, move on with my life, you know? I know, like, Ephraim and Leon are kind of, like, a big ship there. I'm not knocking it. I'm just, like, it didn't really, like, grab me the way some other ships have grabbed me in the past. Path of Radiance and Radiant Dawn are like perpetual S tier for everything. But like, you know, the bold decision to be more gay than typical for the time period. We got like Racin and Tibarn. We got Ike Soren. We got Ike Ranulph if you're into that. Personally, I prefer Ike Soren, but Ike Ranulph is also a solid ship. Who else even is there? Like everybody. There's so many. I can't even think. Just all of them. Anyways, moving on. The fanfiction writes itself. I mean, like, when I was playing through it with a mutual and we got to the part where, like, Oliver kidnaps Racin and then Tibarn, like, flies to his rescue and is like, I'm going to murder every motherfucker who touched my boyfriend. I'm like, how do I even write fanfiction for this? The game's the fanfiction. I don't even know what I would do. I can't add to this. Anyways, Awakening was a hella meh. I just, like, it was a lot of ships that I was like, oh, like, that's cute, I guess, you know. Moving on. I'd probably put it above these two, honestly. I'd put it more like that. These are about equal. I'm counting these as one game, basically. These guys, Fire Emblem Fates. I'm counting them all as one, so don't take this too seriously, but like, hell yes, okay? We have Leo Kumi, which is like, has like single-handedly been my hyperfixation since 2016, which is like 8 years ago now, which is actually disgusting to think about. I'm getting so old so fast. But anyways, we have Leo Kumi, which has single-handedly been my hyperfixation since 2016. And I'm still writing fanfic for it, I am still drawing fan art for it, I am still talking about it incessantly everywhere I go, I'm still posting about it. It's just, it's everything, okay? It's everything. All of it. Anyways, Warriors, I'm gonna just put into, like, has some good points with the caveat that it's like, if you had a ship already from, like, Awakening or Fates and they were, like, in Warriors, you got more content. Like, you got more Leo Kumi content. You actually got a little bit of Xander Talk Me content with their newfound support, which I actually enjoyed quite a bit. But, like, I mean, there's not really much to say about it, just because it's more so just, like, adding a little bit of fluff to what we already had. Three Houses, I would say, for the ship content, for my specific niche that I care about, it's like a high tier game because, like, Dimmy also consumed my life for a while there. Three Houses, like, looking back on it in retrospect, I would have to say it's a love. It's just like right now I'm kind of burned out on everything Three Houses. You know how it is. Anyways, Hopes is like, I'm gonna put it in, has some good points for the same reason as I put Warriors and has some good points. Like, it's really just continuations of the ships that I already liked from Houses, like the Dimmy content, the hand-holding scene, supreme, beautiful, perfect, but, like, that scene wouldn't exist if Three Houses hadn't already established their relationship. So, like, I'm not, you know, rolling over on the ground, foaming at the mouth, having a spiritual experience over it on its own. I just like it. We have Engage, which I like. I think there's a lot of good shipping content in Engage. I think, it was just kind of harder for me to get into the fandom because of, like, when it came out, you know? Like, it came out last year. It came out in January, right when my semester was starting, so I was super busy and I had a ton to do. And, you know, I'm older now, I have more responsibilities. Like, when fucking Leo Kumi and, like, Dimmy dropped, I was, like, a dumb, like, college student, basically. So, you know, it's harder to get into the fandom, but has some very enjoyable ships for me. And I make content for them still. Mostly fan art, because I find it a lot easier to draw than to write these days, but yeah. TMS haven't played. Heroes is a big fat meh. Like, the OCs don't really do anything for me. And there's not really a lot of shippy content in it, outside of, like, maybe a couple of alts or whatever, you know, but then it's just kind of building off of what we already got in the mainline games, so, yeah. Anyways, there's my tier list of how much I enjoyed the shippy content for each of these games. They are ordered within tiers, by the way, I just want to be clear, because, like, Fates is just, like, for me, like, the gift that keeps on giving. I know I mentioned Leo Kumi because that was, like, my, like, the hyper fixation, but, like, there were so many quality characters and ships in that game for me, you know, like, okay, like, I really enjoyed, like, Charlotte and Rinka's dynamic, especially when I was playing Revelation and I got to get them together, because I played with the gay hack. You know, Leo Kumi already mentioned, like, all of the royal siblings with all of their counterparts are, like, fantastic, like Xander, Ryoma, Camilla, Hanoka, Elise and Sakura are cute. We even got that Elise and Sakura duo unit in Fire Emblem Heroes, which was adorable, ridiculously adorable. I don't know if you just heard my kitty meow, but he says hi. Anyways, that's gonna do it here, so thank you everybody for watching. Hopefully I'll be able to get this edited and out before Pride Month is over. It would be really embarrassing if I didn't, but then I can just post it in July, because July is also Pride Month, because I have officially declared that every month is Pride Month. Okay? So, I will see y'all next time. Peace.